brings you in here today?
Well, I'm in here because I feel like I should be doing more exercise.
And what do you mean by exercise? What does exercise mean to you?
Well, I'd like to be a little more muscular, and I just feel like I need to kind of hit the weights more.
Okay, so you're here because you want to make a change. You want to build some more muscle,
Right.
get the weights a little bit more. What sort of, experience with exercise have you had in the past?
Well, I played basketball all throughout high school.
Okay.
Basketball is definitely my favorite thing to do, but I have a bad ankle and I constantly sprain it, so that makes it difficult. And every time I sprain my ankle, it prevents me from being active because I mentally get down on myself, and it's harder to get around, and it's just kind of frustrating. So that usually stops my exercise patterns.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm just going to write a couple things down about that, if you don't mind.
I don't.
So you're saying you love basketball. Have you played basketball in the past?
I've been trying to play pickup games since high school. In college, I played intramurals. And now that I'm working full-time, it's harder to find places to play. And when I do have leagues or games, I eventually always sprain my ankle.
So injuries have been a huge hindrance, basically, kind of a barrier to preventing you from engaging in basketball. Okay.
Definitely.
So you said work's been preventing you also.
Right.
Where do you work, and kind of describe a typical day?
Okay. Well, first of all, I love sleep. So I have trouble going to bed at a decent hour. I like to catch up on my, sports center, and then I go to bed around, 12 or 1, and then I get up at the last possible minute in time for me to shower and head to work. So I live about 40 minutes from work. I have to drive into the financial district in San Francisco, find parking, and then I have to, get to my office by 9 a.m. So then I spend all day at a computer, and I walk to lunch occasionally, but that's only to get lunch. It's not for the purpose of exercise. And then I get off around 4:30, get home around 5:30 or 6. I want to watch. I recorded the daytime programs like PTI and Around the Horn. And if there's any sports games on, I usually watch those. If there isn't, then I make dinner, do laundry. And sometimes, like Tuesdays and Thursday nights, I have school at 7.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot going on that makes it hard for me to try and fit exercise in there. My hopes are that when I, get older, my sleep patterns change a little bit, and I'm able to get up earlier to exercise in the morning before my day begins.
Okay. Are you currently injured? You said you've suffered a lot of injuries. Are you currently?
My ankle's always weak. It's getting stronger. I kind of started to play again. But I don't feel as if it's contributing to my fitness.
Okay.
And that's something that I think would help my injuries overall.
Definitely. So you're saying you're having trouble, you're staying up really late, so that's causing you to not really be able to get up in the morning.
Right.
So you want to sleep a lot.
Right.
Did you know that, engaging in exercise can actually improve your sleep patterns?
I heard that, but I don't know if I believe it, because I feel like when I exercise after work, I kind of get jacked up, and I have trouble going to sleep.
Definitely. So you said you work in the city, so you drive to the city for work.
Right.
Are there any, courts nearby? Have you checked out to play any pickup games?
There is a court where I live. I live in the Presidio, and there's a lot of families in there. But the court itself is kind of dangerous because there's a lot of eucalyptus trees, and all the little corns from the trees fall and make it kind of dangerous.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah, and it's kind of meant for little kids. It's not meant for big kids.
Okay.
So it's not really possible to play there. And then there's the Y down in the Presidio, but I don't have a membership. So currently I'm just playing in a league, a men's league.
Have you looked up any of the membership prices in that area?
I have, and I just don't feel that it'd be feasible with my budget and how little I am able to exercise.
That's completely understandable. Financial obligations are definitely a big part of that. So you say you like to watch a lot of your television programming, PTI, TiVo, or
DVR, yeah. I have a DVR, but I also have 3 roommates. So every time I get home and I have the opportunity to have the TV to myself, I make sure to take advantage of that.
Okay. So you want to exercise more, but it sounds like some of the barriers to you right now are, obviously your work schedule is really busy, sleep patterns are, kind of sporadic.
Right.
And you also want to, make time for your television programming.
Right.
So what, are there any times in the day where you could, maybe take time for yourself to engage in some activity? Like what part of the day are you most motivated?
Well, I would say that it's when I'm at work and I have to be at work. Of course, I'd rather be anywhere else.
Okay.
And that's when I'd prefer to exercise, is if I had free time. But it seems like I don't.
You have that hour break and you say you take a walk, but it's really just to get food.
Right.
Is there anything you could do in that hour that maybe increase the physical activity, if even just a little?
Well, I work on the 9th floor. Maybe I could take the stairs up. But I don't want to get to work and be all sweaty because I just took the stairs instead of the elevator.
Definitely. So taking the stairs, maybe just take the stairs, I don't know. So you're really sweaty when you take the stairs?
Well, it really gets my heart rate up.
Okay.
9 flights is a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially after a big burrito.
That's definitely, to be a problem for a big burrito. So it sounds like basically your only form of physical activity right now is, taking the stairs sometimes and walking to lunch. What is your schedule like on weekends?
On the weekends, well, I'm a big drinker.
Okay.
And so are all my friends on the weekends. So I don't drink during the week, but when the weekend comes, at least one night I'm going to be drinking, which means I will be up late, and then that's my priority, is to get off work and kind of meet up with my buddies and start drinking, which means the following day I'll be hungover. And so then I'll be watching, usually if it's football season especially, I'm sitting watching college football Saturday, and then whether or not I'm hungover on Sunday, I'm watching the NFL. I have Red Zone, so
definitely.
I can catch all the action, and then my fantasy team, I have a lot of, players on different teams, so I can watch all day and have a reason to watch, and I just like, when it's football, don't get off my couch.
So it sounds like the weekend's kind of your time to, take time for yourself, hang out with friends, do that kind of stuff.
Right, I kind of go on strike against responsibilities.
Okay. So your friends, then, it sounds like you like to hang out with your friends a lot.
Definitely.
You like that social, camaraderie.
Definitely.
Well, are there things that they do to stay physically active that you could maybe participate in with them?
Well, we used to do this thing called Sunday Recess, that you'd go on every Sunday and you play a sport, but it also included drinking afterwards. So that kind of phased out because I don't really like drinking on Sundays, and my friends, it was fun for a little while, but everyone kind of started flaking on it, so that didn't really work. My friends basically like to do the same thing I do and just kind of chill out on the weekends and, not be responsible and kind of just lounge.
Okay.
One of my best friends just lost like 40 pounds, but I think that's attributed to his diet. He started changing the way he eats. So I don't think he's necessarily more active, and I don't think that I try to get him to be active, and sometimes we go on like cool hikes and stuff because we live in a really pretty area, but it's hard to make it a regular thing.
So hiking's something that you enjoy doing?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any times where you might be able to make time for that? Like maybe even just a short hike?
Yeah. I suppose, you know, if it's halftime or, you know, a game that is on that I don't really care about, I guess I can miss it and, you know, plan with my friends to go on a hike. I used to have a dog, and we'd be forced to take him on a walk every day, but now we don't, so that definitely stopped our regular hiking activities.
Okay. When you went on these hikes, how did you feel, you know, before as opposed to after the hike?
Before, I felt pent up from being inactive, and I felt guilty for not walking my dog. Afterwards, I felt like I was a good, you know, I walked my dog, I felt good about it, and we both, you know, feel like we then deserve to lounge after. And of course, you know, it feels good after exercise, endorphins and everything, so it's a good feeling.
So it's a positive experience.
Right. Get out there and see the beautiful world. And
okay.
Yeah.
So from what I'm kind of taking in right now, your long-term goal is just, you know, tone up, get in shape, just overall fitness right now. Mm-hmm. Do you think there'd be some times where you could, like you said, you know, get a hike in or, you know, make small changes maybe during the day that, you know, don't have to be drastic at first?
Right.
Maybe some short-term goals.
That's definitely one I'm kind of aiming for. You know, I think that if it is a drastic change, we should start with baby steps.
Definitely.
So I just don't know where to start.
Well, it sounds like you enjoy hiking, enjoy being outdoors. Maybe like we were talking about with the Sunday, you know, at halftime, maybe incorporate some, you know, physical fitness during that time, if that's something you're, you know, into. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of home workouts you could do also. You know, you don't have to join a gym to do, you know, to work out.
Right.
So maybe we should go, like, kind of a homework assignment for this, maybe write down your, you know, advantages and disadvantages to, you know, doing something like that, and we'll kind of weigh that out, and maybe write out a schedule of, you know, time you have during the day where you could do something just a small, you know, for a physical activity, you don't need to do 30 minutes all in a row. You can split that up, you know, to get your 30 minutes. So maybe work on that, and just work on those Sunday hikes.
Okay.
And then walking, you know, during lunch breaks.
All right.
Does that sound like a realistic goal to start?
It does sound realistic. I don't know if it's lack of discipline or, you know, will, but sometimes I don't always reach my goals. So.
You said you go with your friend on these hikes?
Usually a bunch of friends, yeah.
So, do they still go on hikes?
It's just kind of a random decision to go.
Okay.
It's never like a planned thing.
All right. Maybe you get in contact with them and start those hikes again, possibly.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. That would be social on my weekends, and it would be beneficial to my fitness.
Great. Well, it sounds like you're starting to think about, you know, making some changes, and that's, you know, that's very important. So start with those hikes and being active while at work, taking the stairs, just little things like that.
All right.
And next week when we meet up again, we'll discuss those goals further.
All right.
Yeah.